Your hand is already moving before you decide anything. You haven't even finished reading the question. The email sits there half read, and your fingers are already opening a new tab. Not because you tried and failed, not because it's hard, you just reach. Like your hand knows something your brain hasn't caught up to yet. You type the question in. You wait. An answer appears. You copy it, adjust a word or two, send it. Done. 10 minutes later, someone asks you, "So, what did you end up saying?" And you pause. You genuinely can't remember. Not the wording, not even the reasoning. It's like someone else wrote it and you just delivered it. That's the moment worth stopping on. Not because it's rare, because it isn't. You've probably heard people talk about AI taking jobs, whole industries bracing for it, warnings from tech leaders, headlines every other week. But here's what almost nobody is talking about. Something else might already be leaving, quietly, every single day. And it has nothing to do with your job title. It's the part of you that used to sit with a hard question and actually work through it. You didn't misplace it on purpose. You just started reaching for the tab before you tried. And somewhere in there, the reaching became the whole habit. So let's actually look at this. Not to scare you, to catch it. Think about the last time you tried to push through on purpose without opening anything. Maybe last week you told yourself, "This time I'll figure it out myself first." You sat with the problem. 2 minutes passed. Then 5. Nothing clicked. The blank space just sat there, uncomfortable, staring back. So you gave up and searched it anyway. And you probably decided the same thing most people quietly decide in that moment. My brain just isn't built for this kind of thinking anymore. I need the help. That's the obvious conclusion. It's also wrong. Because the discomfort you felt sitting with that blank page wasn't your brain failing. It was your brain waking up a process it hadn't used in a while, like a leg that's been sitting too long. The first steps always feel wrong before they feel normal again. But if that's true, why does reaching for help feel so much easier every time? Why does the pull get stronger instead of weaker? Here's where it gets strange. Picture a gym, except instead of muscles, it trains thinking. Every time you sit with a hard question and push through it yourself, one specific muscle fires. Call it your reasoning muscle. The part of your brain responsible for holding a problem in your head, turning it over, testing ideas against each other until something clicks. Muscles that don't get used don't stay the same. They get weaker, quietly, without an announcement. And every single time you offload a thinking task to AI instead of doing that first rep yourself, your brain quietly logs the same message. This muscle isn't needed right now. Stand down. It doesn't feel dramatic in the moment. It just feels like convenience, like saving time, like being smart about your tools. But convenience and disappearance can look identical from the inside. That's what makes this so easy to miss. So the real question isn't, is AI going to take my job someday? Is something already quietly leaving, one small decision at a time, every single day? In 2025, a researcher named Michael Gerlich went looking for an answer to exactly that question. He studied 666 people, watching how often they leaned on AI tools for everyday thinking tasks, and then measuring something separate, how sharp their critical thinking actually was. What he found wasn't subtle. The people who reached for AI most often, for even simple thinking tasks, scored measurably lower on critical thinking. Not because they were less capable to begin with, because the mental muscle wasn't getting its reps anymore. And here's the part that should actually make you sit up. The effect was strongest in people under 25, the exact group whose thinking abilities are still being built, still forming, still wiring themselves into place for the rest of their life. If you're in that age range, this isn't a future risk. It's already running in the background of your day, right now, one reflexive tab open at a time. So, what exactly is being taken? Not your job. Not yet, maybe not ever, for you specifically. What's actually leaving is quieter and closer than that. It's your own capacity to sit with a hard question and trust yourself to work through it. That's the thing nobody warned you about. Because it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't send a notification. It just gets a little smaller, one skipped rep at a time, until one day someone asks, "What did you end up thinking?" And you genuinely don't know. But here's what changes everything about this. Muscles that weaken from disuse aren't gone. They're just waiting for the next rep. Picture tomorrow morning. Same kind of moment. A question lands in your inbox, something that actually requires thought. Your hand starts its familiar drift toward a new tab. This time, you notice it. Just notice. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to swear off AI forever. You just pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself one thing. What's my first guess before I look anything up? Maybe your guess is rough. Maybe it's half-formed. That's fine. That's the rep. That's the muscle firing again, even for a second, even imperfectly. Now picture a different moment. You're in a meeting and someone asks you to explain your reasoning on something you sent last week. Normally that question would catch you off guard because normally you can't fully remember your own reasoning. It was never really yours to begin with. This time, because you did the first rep yourself before checking your answer, you actually can explain it. Not perfectly, but it's genuinely your thinking, and it shows. That's the shift, not quit AI, not go back to doing everything the hard way. Just think first, check second. Let AI be the thing that sharpens your answer instead of the thing that replaces the attempt entirely. Quick question. When's the last time you actually sat with a hard problem before reaching for help? Let me know in the comments. Because here's what's actually at stake, and it's bigger than any one email or assignment. The people who keep doing their own first rep, even briefly, even imperfectly, are going to keep that muscle. And the people who stop reaching entirely, who let the tab opening reflex run unchecked for years, are going to wake up one day and realize thinking on their own feels like a language they used to speak fluently and slowly forgot. You get to choose which version of that you become, not through some dramatic overhaul. Through one small, repeatable habit practiced in the exact moments this is already happening to you. So go back to that first moment. Your hand hovering halfway to a new tab, questions still unread. Except now you know what that half second actually is. It's not just convenience, it's a choice point. A rep waiting to be taken or skipped. AI didn't come for your job. Not this time. Not in this story. It came for something quieter first. And now that you can see it, you're the one who decides whether it keeps leaving or whether you start showing up for it again. One rep at a time. Thank you so much for watching. If there's a topic about your brain or your habits you want explained next, drop it in the comments. This channel exists to answer exactly those questions.